Hi, everyone. Welcome to DomainSherpa, and thank you for tuning in to the podcast with the best domain name and digital asset content in the world. Today's episode is a DomainSherpa review titled The Liner Things in Life and features Ammar, Braden, and Jen. And on today's show, we play the domain game featuring huge.org, quires.com, and quen.com with a Q. And then we've got the NameJetGonnaJet segment sponsored by NameJet. We talk about some domains coming up for auction, including IPF.com, cloudwriter.com, instantlearning.com, and passport.org. And then we talk about Ammar's recent sale of liner.com, which is where the title of the show comes from. And all that and more is coming up now on today's show. And remember, if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, you can also watch the video version at domainsherpa.com and on our YouTube channel at ds.tv. You can also listen to the shows on Apple and Spotify and other podcast platforms as well. And please make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button and all that good stuff everywhere that you can. And please help DomainSherpa grow the pie. We also integrate our shows with Muse.ai, which provides search functionality and the transcripts as well. So definitely check all that out. And big shout out to DNWE, short for Domain Name Wholesale Exchange. It's a trading platform designed specifically for domain investors, streamlining the process of buying and selling domain names to make it quicker and easier. With a community of over 3,500 investors, DNWE enhances market liquidity, facilitating more efficient transactions with standard domain listings, reverse auctions, standard auctions, and soon to be added portfolio auctions, including traffic portfolios. DNWE is part of EW3N, a family-run digital asset investment company based in London, England, that also operates DomainManage.com, which is a global sales platform, and Brandable.uk, which is a marketplace for UK and co.uk domain names. And big shout out to our own business, MediaOptions, the #1 domain brokerage in the world. Find out more at MediaOptions.com, where you can also sign up for our newsletter for the best domain names and domain opportunities available on the market every week, and also featuring key insights and other helpful information related to branding, naming, and of course, domain investing. Yeah, so with all that, it's now time to get into this episode of Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. What's up, Sherpa Network? Thank you for tuning in today. My name is Jonathan Tenenbaum, a.k.a. JT, a.k.a. Jay On, a.k.a. Sherpa Winfrey, a.k.a. John Burgundy, a.k.a. Thunder Mountain, a.k.a. Repeat Davidson. I got a lot of AKAs for myself now, which is good, bad, I don't know, And I'm the host and producer of Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. Today's show is a Domain Sherpa review, where we get into the minds of successful domain investors using real examples to learn strategies and tactics to become more successful domain investors ourselves. These are the experts, the OGs, the best in the biz, my personal close friends, not just guests, but really co-hosts at the end of the day. There are 4 segments to a Domain Sherpa review. We've got the grand opening. That's what's happening right now. You're in it. You're in the grand opening. Plot twist. I intro the Sherpas. We see what's going on with them. Do some AKAs, talk about some related things, some unrelated things, all that good stuff. Then we get into the domain game. That's where we hear about what the Sherpas recently bought or sold. Everybody guesses on the price. We keep score. And eventually, someday, get some swag to the winner. You might get yourself one of these. I was
Got
gonna
it.
say these. You know what I'm saying? I got the old school Tiger Sherpa mugs. It can happen. You never know. It can happen.
So is the delay Drew approving the purchase order, or
everything has to be made kind of custom. I don't have like boxes of stuff. So it's like I get to a point where it's like, all right, it's been long enough. And now like everyone's legitimately screaming at me. So now I'm going to go and get a bunch of stuff made up. Or like we did when we were going to do the LA thing at Braden's crib, where I was like, hey, I'm going to see everybody. Make a point to order up a bunch of stuff to be able to disperse to the squad. You know what I mean?
Which, by the way, when are we going to do that again? It's been a year.
I know. I mean, we got to figure it out. I'm down. We either, we've got Vegas for the ICA, right? Mm-hmm. And so, I think if we're going to do a West Coast thing, I mean, I'd be down to do something within a few months of that. I don't know about Jen. I don't know if there's how mobile are you these days, Jen? Are you down to hit the West Coast twice in like a 5-month window? What do you think? Springtime, Hollywood.
I wouldn't mind us doing like an East Coast one, because we did the West Coast last time, so it would be cool to do an East Coast one.
Well-
I have family in Florida too, so it's for me that would be cool.
That
to-
would be awesome. I mean, I would love
I
to
would be
host
totally
everybody, and we'd also get a couple of the other local guys. We could get maybe even some folks that might want to come in from like a Steve Kennedy. We'll put him up against either Ammar or Lee. Let's see if he's leveled up. Maybe he could play Josh in some pickle. You know what I'm saying? Josh is here. But if we did like in North Florida, I mean, we could also do Orlando. But but again, I'd be super down to host everybody here, and kind of locally, we could do that.
Yeah, and maybe we rotate years, right? 1 year we do East Coast, 1 year we do West Coast, and go back and forth.
And then we do Australia, and then
There you
we
go.
do East Coast,
There
and
it
West
is.
Coast, and Australia, and East Coast,
But
West Coast.
hey, I dig it. I'm just trying to see the toilet swirl the opposite way. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that in person.
I kind of want to video that as well, which is kind of a little bit weird, but I mean, hey, OnlyFans, let's go.
I mean, that is probably going to get us more of like, we'll have one very weird subscriber for that. And I will never want to meet them in
Braden.
person.
It'll be Braden.
I never want to meet them in person. No, that definitely wouldn't be Braden. It'd be one of these like, Anyway, you know what? I'm not even going to go there because it's all I'm going to do is end up insulting somebody. I mean, I don't know how we ended up here. All right. Then we got NameJetGonnaJet, sponsored by NameJet, where we'll review a list of domains coming up for auction. We see what the Sherpas like, what they don't like, all that good stuff. We got a decent list today. And then last but not least, we got the grand closing, where we'll discuss anything we haven't already covered, what's going on in the domain space, looking at the market trends, current events, allowing guests to mention, promote, talk about anything that we have not already talked about, or even stuff that we've already talked about. It's really all good. It's kind of a free-for-all up in here, especially with no Drew. That means like we don't even have to talk domain stuff. We could be like, oh, has anybody seen the new Beetlejuice? Has anybody seen the new Joker movie? I heard that's trash. Did you see it? Wait. I heard it.
I saw Beetlejuice because we spoke about that, but I didn't. I heard Joker was one of my friends like walked out. Yeah. So I was like,
I heard it was hot garbage.
I wanted to see it, but then Josephine had read that it was not very good, so we passed.
Did you guys see the last one, the first one with Joaquin? And I mean, that was great, right?
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah,
but
that was great.
But the new one, it was all sorts of terrible. That's at least the word on the street. So anyway, but yeah, so that's what's good. All right, and I'm trying to see what else is. I'm trying to think. I think that's it. Let's go ahead and introduce the guest. You know what I'm saying? Let's go with some AKAs. Over to my right, I got my boy, the one and only Braden Pollock, aka Tony Stark, aka Benjamin Button, aka Eat, Bray, Love, aka Braden Statham, aka Braden Pollockton, the Archduke of Calabasas, the Viscount of Woodland Hills. Not that your domain is worthless. It's just that it's worth less. Bitch. So what's up, man?
Doesn't he have to live in Calabasas to be the Archduke of Calabasas?
It's an honorary title, man.
And I've never actually
given to him by whom?
Given
JT.
Given him by me.
Yeah, by a guy who has no connection to Calabasas.
By the Kardashians, I would be like, okay.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know. I have nope. I was there once. I drove through really quickly because they don't like my kind in that neighborhood. You
were visiting Ye.
So, exactly. I was saying, what's up to Yeezy? That dude's got some, he's got some issues, man.
His girlfriend dumped him.
I think he needs some counseling. Well, listen, man, I think it's kind of I think it's a strain on your relationship when you tell your girlfriend or fiance that you want to sleep with her mom and you want her to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's going to rub her the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean, that's just the news.
Look, we've all been there.
Hey, man. No, maybe,
I've never ever been there.
Me neither.
I think Braden just blushed.
He's always
because I was thinking about the time I've actually been there.
Oh man.
Why does this happen when I come on here? Come on, JT.
Conbray West. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, my bad. Let's keep it on track. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue along with the motley crew here. To my lower right, we got Ammar Kuba, aka King Kuba, aka Danny Ocean, aka the Even Greater Gatsby. Don't chase an unworthy dream, y'all. Aka Marzan, aka Kuba Libre, aka Kuba Soze, aka LL Ammar J. I'm doing them all because Drew's not here. You know what I'm saying? Aka Heli Savalas, aka Kuba Kinte. What's up, man? What's happening?
What's going on? Good to see you guys. Gonna be twice in 2 weeks, right? Hopefully we're on for next week too.
Yeah, we got another show next week. If you're you were on last week too, right? So you're
wow.
you've
This
been
is-
this is Ammar
I'm gonna
Sherpa or something.
I'm gonna be played out.
Nah, hey, until test audiences, you know what I'm saying? They're still responding favorably to you being on the show. So we're not gonna kill you off yet. You know what I'm saying? And all right, and last but not least, we got my homegirl Jen Sale, aka Aussie Osborne, aka Olivia Newton-Jen, aka Crocodile Dundee, aka Dingo Star, aka the Wonder Woman from Down Under, aka Melbourne to be Wild, aka Jen. If you have to ask how much it is, you can't afford our stuff because it never goes on sale. Aka Sipping on Gin and Juice, aka the Ever Queen. I think that's all of them, right? I mean, that's all I got on my list. Did I miss any?
That's enough.
aka Alice. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Alice.
That's
Yeah.
enough. That is more than enough. All right. So what's happening? What's going on with you?
Not much. I mean, my husband stood on a rusty screw at work and it went straight through his boot and his foot yesterday. So that's what we've been dealing with at home. But
Ouch.
yeah. Yeah. Not a fun time.
Oh man. Shout out to Andy and tetanus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
tetanus shots. There were tetanus shots involved. There was local anesthetic being injected into the wound, cleaning out of wounds. It was a lot of stuff. And then they removed like 4 pieces of the screw from the foot. Not a fun time, guys, and I don't recommend.
yeah, no, don't recommend.
Hopefully
It's like
you were taking care of him, made him a nice dinner, poured him a drink.
I do
Did all
all
those
of
nice
that,
things.
Ammar. Thank you very much. I know you're like actually saying it as a joke.
No.
I do.
I'm not. I'm saying that would be the beautiful, nice, sweetheartly thing to do.
I'm the best nurse for anyone who's sick ever. Like,
Listen, I might
am-
step on a rusty
I am-
nail to have you come over and serve me a drink.
serve you. I might step on a rusty nail to have you come over and serve me a rusty nail.
There you go.
But anyway, so this is
Anyway,
definitely
fun times.
we're going off on tangents, guys. But it's all good. It's all
That's
good.
so unusual for this show.
It is kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy. Well, so there's some interesting stuff in the domain space. I want to talk a little bit about, we got but you know what, I can save that for later. Some .io, .ai. There's some pretty cool stuff, but we'll just save those more current event type things for later if we got time. I know we're a little tight on time today. So let's bring it back and let's dive into the domain game. So Braden, let's start with you. And you got a buy or a sell? What you got? What you got for us?
I wish I could talk about it. A couple of really, really good sales, but I'm not allowed to talk about them.
All right. Well, I mean, that's good, Biller.
No,
Yeah.
really good. My 2 top sales ever.
Oh, no way. Like ever?
Ever.
Forever, ever?
Ever?
Like I had my highest sale ever, and then a couple weeks later, I had an even higher sale.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Well, congratulations, man.
Yeah, I didn't technically sign an NDA, but both these buyers are looking at other names.
Okay.
So I don't want to piss them off.
Got it. Hey,
So-
well, no, all good, man. Well, look, so have they closed or are they like close to close? Is that kind of...
No, close money in the bank.
Oh, well, congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
So super cool. All right,
So those were oneword.com. So we're going to talk about something else. We're going to talk about here's a oneword.org to mix it up. Last time I was on, we talked about nets. Now let's talk about orgs. The domain is huge.org.
Whoa, okay. I like it. That's huge. Huge. Dot
Huge with
org.
a H.
With a H. It is with a H.
With a H.
So, all right. Get your calculator or whatever device you're going to use to put the sale out there, Jen and Ammar. And so huge.org, it was a sale. All right. All right. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, okay. So I'm at 25,000. Ammar is at 29,888, and Jen is at $55,555. Five fives, as a matter of fact. So nice.
We got Ammar's the winner.
Oh, you had to do
And
some
this
math.
is the total.
Okay. Oh,
Very
okay.
40 grand.
Oh, that's close. That's
Very
close. That's
nice.
solid sale, man. So, well, talk to us. How did you sell it, and how long did you have it, and can you tell us what you paid for it?
Yeah. I paid $4,400.
Okay.
Where did I buy it from? I don't know. I'd have to dig a little deeper. Actually, I can. I had it 10 months.
Okay. 10 months. Wow. 10
Yes,
months and a
10.
10x, huh?
Yeah. Just about
So-
9.5, almost 10x.
That's awesome, dude. So
Nice.
where did you sell it?
Direct.
Oh, okay. So someone reached out via landing page type of thing,
Yeah.
or through Who Is, or what?
I think it was Who Is. I honestly don't remember.
Okay.
I have to dig into that. But
So you got
but I know I
hey,
had the conversation direct, and then I bought it from a GoDaddy auction last November.
Okay. And then so the email comes in saying, "Hey, I'm interested in the name." Was it an offer? And then you did some negotiation. Like, what was the what can you share?
I don't remember. Let me look. Okay. It wasn't exactly direct. It was a broker that reached out to me.
Okay.
That he sent me he opened at 25,000, which I think was half my asking. I think I had it listed at 50.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, what? It's worth 50. What's worth all of 50? What is this 40? What is this 25,000 coming in at 50%? He's like, listen, that's what he offered me. That's what he told me to offer you. And so I'm offering it, you make a counter. And so we had some back and forth, and I was like, look, I'll do you solid. I'll give you a discount on it, 45. And he said, look, you're going to pay 15%, from the lander. So you're already, that's 7,500. I'm like, yeah, I want some of that back. And so I counted at 45, and then he came back and he's like, look, they went up to 40, and I had to squeeze them, and I got him to 40. Will you do it? And I was like, all right, fine.
Yeah. No, hey, that's a great result. Great sale. Nice.
It was Steve Mihalovich, if anybody knows him from Name Arena.
Oh, yeah, of course. Big shout out to Steve, man.
Steve did that deal.
Yeah,
So,
we've done a couple
shout out
deals
to
with
Steve.
him. Yeah, big shout out to Steve.
Yeah,
We're
he's
basically
usually
like-
got some bigger clients, so that's good.
Yeah, I think, and he plays under the radar. So I think a lot of people don't know Steve, but Steve doesn't fuck around. He sells big names too. And this was just like whatever. Somebody called him and wanted him to get this name, so he reached out to me. So we got it done.
Right.
All right.
Good sale.
I dig it, man. I dig that. So, all right. Well, congratulations and nice work, and shout out to Steve. And that's what's good. All right. So Ammar gets the point. So Ammar, you can't get the next point because the next one is your name. So, which is good. You know what I'm saying? Give somebody else a chance.
Right. All right. I actually had a sale this morning while I was sleeping. I woke up to a sale, and the conspiracy theorist in me, if Drew was here, he'd probably agree. It came in from Afrinic, and that was right the day after, or the same day that I migrated. So I migrated all the names from Dan yesterday, and I wake up this morning and there's a sale from Afrinic. So that, I don't know, I thought that was kind of odd. But the name is Choirs, CHOIRS.com.
Choirs.com. Okay. All right.
Yeah, this is a hard one, I think.
It is a hard one because do choirs have a lot of money, but we can get into that after.
Choirs.com. Okay.
It was choir.
Ooh,
If
choir.
it was singular, yeah, that's a different story.
That's a heck of a
Money.
name.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I'm ready when y'all are.
I'm not ready. Hang on. I don't. Yeah, this is a hard one actually. All right. Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Flip it. Ooh, I must be I'm way low. All right. I'm basically 10,000. Jen's 44,444 and Braden's at 65,000.
So Jen gets it. It was 24,900.
Wow, okay.
And Braden, come on, that would be a crazy number for choirs.com.
Yeah, I was giving you Ammar credit.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I was giving you had it listed 25? You had it listed 25.
I had it buy now at 25.
I'm surprised that you priced it that low, actually.
It's one of those names. So first of all, a lot of my pricing is just old and random. Like I need to really get, as everybody knows, I'm just not organized. I need to have a system to regularly go through these names.
System to count all your money. Yeah.
I've had this name for 12 years. I got it from all of our good friend Elliot. So shout out to Elliot. I bought it from him in 2012, and it was kind of part of a package of like 10 names, I think. So I don't really know. I haven't figured out what my allocation was to choirs, but I'm gonna guess it was somewhere probably in the $2,000, 2,500 range, based on the value of the whole what I bought from him. So it was, it was a long hold, and but it had been priced like that forever and it never sold. So I feel like it was priced well.
Well, if you bought it today, though,
yeah,
what would you price it at?
If I bought it today,
because today you couldn't get it for $2,500, right?
You probably get it for $5,000 today, right? I'm guessing.
Right. So you put a bin on it.
I put it at $50,000 today, but I would have, but truly, I would have been happy with 25. I was not upset when I got that email, because it's just one of those names. Like, you guys all said it. Like, what do you do with that name to monetize? So there's another name which I'll announce probably next week on the next Sherpa, which is another name that I think is hard to understand the business model on it. And so those kind of names, it's like what we always talk about, not all one word .coms are the same. They're not all equal, right? There are some that are 8 figures, and then there are some that are 5 figures. And there's some that are 9 figures. 4 figures.
There's some that are 9 figures, and there's some that have almost no value. I mean, I see names, it's oneword.com. I'm like, I have to look it up. I don't.
Right.
No one's used that word since like 1842.
Right. So yeah. So I, yes, could I have gotten more? Maybe, but I'm happy with that number.
Yeah. I was way under, and I was probably in more like the 15 range, and then we started talking about choir versus choirs, and immediately made me in my mind devalue the domain.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's
you were closer than I was. So
yeah, but you were giving Ammar a lot of credit and love, you know what I'm saying? So that's good. At least you erred on the side of a compliment, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you just think I'm a moron.
Exactly. I'm like, I know nothing. But no, man. I mean, I think it's like you said. What is the commercial application? It'd be an interesting one to do some research on and just kind of see if there's sort of, is it almost like a name or some kind of weird usage of it.
It's almost like it feels like directory or like organization.
Somebody that trains, teaches how to sing in a choir, or a director.
Look, obviously a lot of churches, every school, like when you actually Google the word choirs, it pulls up like the choir department or the Department of Performing Arts for like all the major not all, but like major universities, Notre Dame, NC State, Michigan State, these are all like just kind of coming up on the first, and say Baylor University, Florida State. Along with, along with the American Choral Directors Association. Yeah, I just, it's just an interesting.
But all of those, I don't know about you guys, like trying to sell to any of those like universities or like It's
Forget
so
about it.
impossible. Yeah.
Right.
I've not had any luck today.
I feel like there's
Right.
got to be some AI or some play there that's just something again that is just not obvious. And or
Yeah,
like
we'll
it's
know probably in the next few weeks.
yeah, let's see what they do. That's very cool. But either way, um great sale and still good stuff, man. Real money. So congratulations. All right. So let's do this. Since now Mar has a point, Jen has a point. Braden, do you have another name that you can throw up in the mix, either a buy or a sell, to break the tie between these two?
Let me see here.
Make it one that I'll know, Braden, because we're friends.
QWEN.com.
Oh, QWEN.com.
Quinn.
All right. When?
That.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Not Quinn.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
There you go.
Can you see our brains work the same? It scares me.
This
All
is
right.
good stuff. It's good stuff. All right, this is it. This is the tiebreaker for the winner of
Hang
the
on,
domain game.
wait. This was a sale.
It was a sale.
Okay.
I'm not even going to guess. It's really just you two to see who the winner is going to be. This is it.
Oh,
This is
actually, I have a story for this one too.
oh, awesome.
Oh, hang
So-
on. Wait, I'm changing. Yeah, okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Flip it. Ooh, okay. It's a tight spread. It's Jen is $11,111 and Ammar is $14,900. Who is the winner?
Ammar again.
Oh, Ammar with the win. That makes Ammar the winner of the domain game.
I sold it for
That might be 2 weeks in a row, dude.
What was it? 25?
25,000.
Oh, okay.
I had 22,222, and then I was like, no, just divide it by 2.
Yeah.
You're like, I have to stick to this one number repeated thing. And
It's angel numbers, Jonathan. They're angel numbers.
Okay. I like it. All right, we'll talk to. So what's up with Quen and how long did you have it and what's the story behind it?
So I had it for about 4 years, back when, 4Ls were a thing. I paid $1,238 for it. And I had it priced for $10,000.
So how did you sell it for 20 plus thousand?
Because the 4Ls, they're just not that great. There's so many of them. And I think I have them all priced at 10 grand. And then I read something about an AI. There's some LLM called Quinn. I don't remember. It was like a product from Hugging Face, or I don't remember exactly what it was. I don't remember. It was some AI. So I was like, well, I don't know what they're using, but they're going to want the .com eventually. So I ramped the price from 10,000 to 25,000, and like 2 or 3 weeks later, somebody hit the bin.
Wow, dude, that's awesome timing, man. That's like
just
so
in
cool.
time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, so 4 characters, and Drew would say the same thing, is that they really in a lot of ways are kind of like the ideal domain, depending on what the word is, right? Like words that are actual dictionary words, cold and wall, and are some of the best domains, period, right?
Cold being mine.
That's why I threw it out there, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I included it in my.
You guys have all.
We have all. That's in the anecdote. You know what I'm saying, or whatever you want to call it, the thing. And but when you get into obviously like the the chips and the core, all that stuff, when it was the 4 character stuff during the China wave and everything else, it got pretty wild, right? And it was, and I always felt like it's interesting because the Chinese didn't favor names that had V's or vowels. But I always felt like that was short-sighted for 4character.coms that could otherwise be brandables or some other thing. Because if you take names without the vowels, then sort of once the wave ended, which it did, right? Then you're either dealing with acronyms or nothing if it's not an actual like dictionary word, right? But a name like Quen is pretty cool. Like I think it's actually and obviously the result speaks for itself. So pretty awesome.
It looks like it's the Alibaba AI.
Is that what it is?
Dude, you underpriced it.
You know what? I made it a no-brainer for them.
Yeah.
There's also a Quen is also a name for some dude, some Star Trek character. It also looks like, but
well, when I first typed in Quen Stefani did show up.
Oh, that was a
Gwen
total miss on our
Stefani.
part. Gwen Stefani would have been a good one in response to your Gwyneth Paltrow. You know what I'm saying?
Baba Quinn. Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt. All right. Well, cool. All right. Well, Ammar's the winner of the domain game. Braden is also a winner with his domain sale. Speaking of domain sales, can we talk a little bit about liner.com? I know you can't disclose the price, but Elliot wrote about it. So for those of you who don't know, and Ammar sold liner.com to some folks. And what can you share about that?
Yeah, that so Liner is a Korean based AI company. And they were on getliner.com, and they had done a round.
And they finally got liner.com.
They finally got liner.com, right? And I kind of had a feeling because they had been sniffing around for years. And I think I had originally priced it at $690, and then 1 year things were a little slower. I'm like, and that's like I said, Braden, I really rarely go through my pricing, but I guess I did that 1 year, and I brought down a few names from $690 to $490. This was one of them. And then they inquired again a year ago. I'm like, I told them the price is $490, inquired again in January, same thing. And then the CEO reached out to me directly, and he offered $100,000. And I said, thank you, but no thank you. I didn't even counter. And then he reached out again, and he offered $200,000. I said, I really appreciate it, and but that's way too cheap. You see what it's priced at. So I said, then the number's $490. If you need a payment plan, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we ended up agreeing, and I had a feeling that they were getting ready to raise money, another round. Because usually companies, when they're successful, they don't go more than a few years without the next round. And it had already been a few years. And I'm like, I just had a hunch that they were getting ready. So that's another reason I kind of held tighter to my price, held firmer. And eventually we agreed, and I think it was a good deal for me, good deal for him. So everybody's happy.
So
Awesome.
so can you divulge what happened? That the price and the term?
No, I can't. But I can tell you that I was happy, and they were happy. And then they just announced their raise, so I was right. The guy didn't acknowledge it. But it's another thing to show you, like, really sometimes you just have to be patient, because he would go, like I said, I went back, I think the first inquiry was in like 2019 or 2020, right? And then every time he would inquire again, and then this time when finally he was actually engaged, he would go like a couple of weeks in between replies. Like I would reply, and then 2 weeks of radio silence, and then he'd come back and he'd say, another thing. And I guess he was talking to his board, talking to his investors.
Or could just be a game of chicken.
It could be. And
he could have had approval from the board at $490, and he's like, this guy's not going to sell it. I'm just going to slow play it and
right.
Make an offer and let him come back to me.
Right. Well, we know how that works. It doesn't work.
We know how that works. It doesn't.
Yeah.
And no, but I think that's awesome, man. And it's there's obviously a number of lessons in there. One is having a sense of what the worth of a domain based on talk about value. How do you determine value of a domain, right? There's certain subjective there's objective factors, search, and and how many companies are using the name. And then when you're digging further, call it more of the subjective stuff, which was what is the makeup of the companies, where are they at in their funding, and and all of that kind of stuff. And understanding that there are buyers out there for, obviously, a oneword.com like this is a great name. It doesn't need to be, when you think about what a liner actually is, it doesn't mean only selling liners, which, I guess for a pool or for, what.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's the thing, is this, did have multiple buyers. I definitely, when I bought the name, I didn't think they would be, their use case was the most likely buyer. I thought it would be a shipping company. It would be, something bigger like that, right? But you just don't know who the end user is going to be. In this case, they are the best buyer, right? They're growing, they're AI, they were on a shitty domain name, and this is kind of like their perfect upgrade.
Yeah.
Right.
And now they've boxed out anyone else that would potentially use that brand.
And like he was telling me, we're looking at getting liner.ai, and I'm like, okay, cool. You should go ahead and spend a lot of money for that, and then you'll pay me more later. Like,
yeah, tell him.
Right. You just, I mean, to some people, to most people, right? And to me, even like 100,000's a lot of money. So I just was thinking to myself, I'm like, well, it is a lot of money, but I think this name's worth more. And I think there are more buyers. And, so it was worth the risk of losing the sale. Sure. Right. So you just have to decide. It's always a decision of, is it worth losing the sale? Yeah. And as long as you're okay with that, then you're okay with that.
It's interesting, Ammar. I think he made a good point where he said patience is so important with some of these names. And I'd be interested, I don't know if you guys have discussed this on the show before, but what's like the longest ongoing negotiation that eventuated into a sale that you ever had? For me, it was around about 18 months.
I would say this one was probably 5 years, but
wow.
it wasn't an active negotiation. It was just, right. I could tell that this, I don't know, maybe it was in 2020. I don't remember when it was, but it was years.
Yeah. So these guys have been around that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I guess they've just been growing. And at some point, my guess, I don't know, but my guess is their investor said, whoever was leading this next round, they're like, look, this is stupid. You can't be on getliner.com. If you really, if you want to be a world-class company, you need to get your name.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing, I'm guessing that, I probably could have gotten more, but I'm happy. Yeah. And they're happy. And it's all good.
You already said you were happy. So I think you don't even need to second guess what you got or could have got, but great. I think it's a great question, Jen. Braden, what about you as far as?
I remember the name, curable.com. I think that took about 3 or 3.5 years of conversation, and literally, every couple of months he'd reach out to me or I'd reach out to him. When are we going to do this? It's like, I still want it. He just didn't have the budget. I was like, we could have put you on a payment plan a long time ago. You'd have it by now. And then finally we got him on a payment plan and got it sold. That was almost 3 years.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. And Rick Schwartz subscribes to the model of, hey, my price is my price. You'll come, and it's not that my domain is priced too high. It's that your idea is too small, right? I loved when he said that at one of the names cons. And, and I think that when you've got a really good name that, has, wide appeal that could be utilized by a number of different successful or soon to be, or hopefully successful businesses or whatever, there's value there. That somebody's going to come along and pay what it's worth, as long as you're not holding out for something truly like a voice.com type of amount of money or something. Right. And,
you just have to have a reasonable price. And Ammar, I think $490, I don't know exactly what you sold it for, but it's in that neighborhood, presumably a little bit more, a little bit less. I think that's the right price for liner. I think 700 is probably a little high. Yeah. 500 is about right to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that's an important piece, right? And some of that based off of comps, some obviously for you guys, it's because you've been doing this so long that you just know this feels like the right price of this name within 100 grand or something, right? And which is a skill into itself. Yeah, and I think it also shows though the life cycle or just the amount of time that it can take to sell names, sell high value names, and why domain investing is not exactly for the faint of heart, and why it is such a long tail kind of sort of game, really.
Yeah. I mean, look, Choirs was 12 years. So it's
And understandably so with that kind of name,
right.
that kind of price. I actually think you got a good price for it. So, but yeah. So, and Jen, you think 18 months is kind of like meaning like active negotiation for you guys?
I think that was probably one of the longer ones. But it was very active too. Like it was consistent communications, phone calls, emails, everything. So but that was actually I think that was back in my Dark Blue Sea days, that one. So that wasn't an evergreen one. Yeah. It was one of the first it was one of the first 6-figure sales that I ever brokered.
Okay.
And that's why I remember it, because I was just like, I am not going to give up on this. I was like, I put too much time into this. But yeah, it's I do think the patience is a big thing, and someone who's taught me that especially is Adam. Because I am someone who can be a bit more like, let's just do it. Like, that sounds good. And he'll be like, no.
Yep. Well, you're like, hey, look, I'm not getting paid off of this if this name doesn't sell, So
I'm looking at my sales from this year, and I've got, I sell these legal names all the time, and a lot of them were hand regs, and I've got hand regs that I've had for 20 years.
That just sold this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy, man.
June of, here's 2 of them from June of 04. Here's some from 07. Yeah, another one from 07. A couple from 05. But their hand reg is, it's tons of profit, right? So it's like I've got $200, $150 into reg fees over the years, and
Well, and I think that's the thing, and it's this is none of this is an overnight success kind of situation, and it's not that you can't come into the business now and still be successful, but you just have to be prepared. Even Rick will say, domaining shouldn't be your full-time thing at first, right? It's like you need to support yourself while you build your domain portfolio and those kinds of things. And so, yeah, I mean, and I think that's good advice for, new domainers, or just, folks that are, just folks that are relatively new to the space, to know that it's, not uncommon to have to come in and pay your dues, and, and it takes a while. And, that's why I find it really impressive when you've got folks like Josh, younger guys, newer people in the space, Tony names, maybe, a couple of different people who, have come into the space and have had success. But even them now, they've been around for a while, right? And then they'll soon be the OGs and this kind of thing. So it's just like, it's all really, really interesting, cool dynamic.
MediaOptions is the industry's leading domain broker, specializing in domain acquisitions, high-value domain sales, and domain name consultation. As pioneers and thought leaders on the subject of the domain aftermarket and domain name value, plus through their clear domain acquisition service, MediaOptions offers startups and established corporations an unparalleled scope of high-value domain options, providing access to domain names and curation technologies not available elsewhere. MediaOptions believes in the power of a great domain name and is dedicated to helping you obtain yours. Call or email today to put a domain to work for you.
Well, I know we only got about 20 minutes left. So the one thing I was going to talk about, you mentioned Liner and said, hey, we're thinking about .ai. Shout out to the Identity Digital folks. They're taking over the .ai registry, which I think is really cool. So big shout out to Matt Overman and the team over there. Do you think that will mainstream .ai domains more now, bring some adults into the room as they sort of probably standardize, work through some more integrations, get it some more visibility,
I think it
clean up the transfer process.
It takes risks. It takes risk off the table, some risk, right? Because I think that was one of the big knocks that most people didn't really consider, but the people that did know about it, it really was a risk with some of the rules that they had, right? And it was run by one dude in a back office that could literally do whatever you wanted, right? Like I lost
like in a surf shop in Anguilla,
Yeah, I lost a couple of good names just because he didn't feel like going out of his way to, correct a mistake, right? And this was like, a couple of years ago, but still, it's just like when you're, when it's at the whims of one guy, it's just doesn't give you a lot of confidence, right? When you're spending six figures on a name.
Yeah. Would everyone else kind of agree? Jen, what do you think?
Yeah, I pretty much would just share that same feeling about it. Do I think that that's going to like pierce the veil through to the general public or like people who are registering these names? Do they care that Identity Digital just took over .ai? They don't care. No one cares. So like for us, like, yeah, this is like we can all like recognize like why this is important and it had to happen for the registrants that exist and for future registrants. So we all understand that being in the space, but I think to the greater general public, like no one cares. So, but yeah, I think for us in the space, I think it is important and it does matter.
Yeah, I think ID taking over, I think nobody cares how the sausage is made, but I think what it will do is it'll surface AI names more than it has before just because of their reach, right? Mm-hmm. So the registrars are going to promote it more. I just think that it'll be more available to the general public. And when the AI names are available more to the general public, then more companies will register them. They'll be promoted more. And I think it'll just, a rising tide lifts all boats.
Yeah, I would agree. I think this is obviously very good and important. Drew is he's made his position on .ai domains very clear. That they're not, obviously not going to be they are not in the same class obviously as .com, and they need to be treated as such. So when domain investors are spending tens of thousands on .ai domains, that's it could be a recipe for disaster. But I do think but the way that you brought it up, Ammar, about, hey, Liner, you guys want to go liner.ai, have at it, off you go. And I'll be here when you realize that that's just another step to get to the name, if you want the best possible name for your business. But I do find, I don't know. I mean, I think that it's interesting. There seems, there's still a good bit of momentum in and around the .ai domains. There's still, I think, we've got clients that we're, working with .ai stuff. And, I think there's still value there. It's all about what you can acquire the names for, or which names you're talking about, or who the potential end users are. And, but all right, well, cool. Well, we don't have too much time that we can talk further about that. So let's dive right into the NameJetGonnaJet list, and then we'll pretty much close up the show. So if you guys have the list,
No.
We'll check your email. Like, there's literally two things you need to do for the shows: bring a name and have the list. Jen,
and I haven't done it.
You strike 3. Two requirements, and you just have 3 strikes. I don't even know how that works, but congratulations.
I'm sorry. Hang on. I'll find it. Hang on.
I can also throw them in the chat.
It's okay. It's okay. I got it here.
All right. So, Ammar, while she's looking for the list, why don't you tell me what names do you like and what names do you not like?
So, in honor of Braden, I'm going to say that I think passport.org is a fantastic name. It goes nicely with the .org. I like that one.
Why in honor of Braden? Braden, do you have passport.com?
Oh, because he just sold huge.org. So,
okay. So that's the honor of Braden. Okay. I get it.
And then
.org thing.
Right. And then the other one, and then I like 2 others, but I like hollywoodpark.com, but that one could be problematic because of, there's a big casino in LA called Hollywood Park.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that.
But it's a park in Hollywood, right? So it's generic, but I could see that one potentially being problematic. And I like Cloud Writer. So those are the ones I like. The one I like the least is Swales or S-Wales or whatever the fuck that is.
Swales.
Yes,
Swales.
Swales.
Swales.com.
It's how you pronounce my name when I go overseas.
Swales.
Swales.
Swale.
So yeah.
Saleh. Yeah. So, well, interestingly, so real quick, Cloud Writer was actually on the list last week, but we didn't talk about it. So I'm trying to include a few to make sure we get some mileage out of these, especially if they still have time left before the auction starts. Cloud Writer is kind of cool because to me, it invokes obviously the idea of skywriting. But Cloud Writer, I feel like almost speaks to anybody that writes on the internet in a blog or any kind of fashion, or even
it's a
code.
Perfect name for like an app. It's for a tool, an AI
tool.
Yeah.
Yes, Cloud Writer, man. I mean, I think that one, and I like passport.org a lot too. All right, Jen, why don't you pick it up and tell us what you like or don't like? Oh, and swales, by the way, swales are a thing. It's I looked at this up. A swale, real fast, is a shallow, broad.
No, it's in your lawn or in your yard. You need to have an indentation for water to flow.
Yes.
Okay, so that's an example. That's an example of a oneword.com that nobody knows what the fuck it is, and I don't know that it has any value.
No, it doesn't. And the only reason why I know it is because when I redid my yard, and to get a rebate from the utility
township or something. Oh, okay.
You have to put in a swale because when the water and the rain comes down, hits your yard, it'll kind of find the low point and then soak into the water table as opposed to run off.
You need it to swallow into the ground.
You have to build swales in your yard.
Spitter swale.
That's going to be my
That's
my new code name is Swale.
Swale. All right, Jen, what about you? What do you like or don't like?
Yeah, I agree with Ammar. I think passport.org is nice. And that will sell to someone. I mean, honey and milk is cute for a brand, but it should be milk and honey.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's still cute, but then I'm kind of like, from a marketing point of view and branding, I wouldn't go with that because people's recall on things like that is not great. And so you'll stumble on that,
okay.
I think. And then I think I don't like carb.com. I understand that it's a 4-letter. I get it's a word or, well, shortened word of carbohydrate, whatever. But I just don't. Yeah, I'm not sure of what the commercial use for that would be. And I guess you could say, well, you could put, no carb diet, like lead gen on there or something like that. And the diet lead gen stuff does make decent money. But in that case, I would have wanted the plurals.
You'd want it swale.
Swales.
I want the swales.
Yes. But yeah, I think it's interesting about carb because it's also like a negative term, right? Because carbs are considered to be not great. So you could do like a diet tracker through that somehow, but I feel like it's almost like. But all right, I think that's fair. All right, Braden, will you bring it home? What do you think? Anything else that they haven't mentioned, or
I'll talk about carb. I mean, I think you're all sleeping on carb. It's a 4-letter pronounceable 4L. So I mean, there's going to be a bunch of companies named Carb, even if it's just a brand. It doesn't have.
Braden's going to buy it.
So now I'm going to go have a look.
The truth is, he just made a bunch of money selling Quen. You know what I'm saying? And Carb's a better name than Quen.
It is. It's easy to spell. Quen you can't spell worth of shit. But carb, whether it's related to carbohydrates or carburetors or whatever,
carburetor,
or the California Air Resources Board,
right?
Yeah, actually, that was the first thing I thought of because I know somebody that's on that board. Not that would be any kind of commercial usage, but I mean, just it's a 4L.
There's a carb manager, carbmanager.com.
But
Yeah,
look how
okay.
many companies are called carb. There's a bunch.
So if you're buying this
Yeah, but
name
what
at
would you
auction,
pay? Yeah,
what do
what would you pay for that then? Sorry, JT. Like, because
No,
then
that's
I'm
it.
just
That's the question.
thinking,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm kind of like, okay, well, cool. Like then looking at just the very limited like pool of buyers that you have now, like what would you pay wholesale? And then what would you try to sell it for retail to these people?
So I think wholesale it's a mid 4-figure name and retail it's a 5-figure name.
It's gonna go for more than mid 4 figures because
because
people on
we're talking about
NameJet are just
Well, we are talking about it as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
talking about it. But
Yeah.
I think like
would you pay 10 grand for that name?
yeah.
You would? I wouldn't.
Okay. All right. I like it. Well, let's keep an eye on it and see what it does.
We just pumped it, so
Yeah, no. Now he's gonna have to.
now it's gonna sell.
What else you like or don't like?
I like so IPF is on here. I mean, it's a 3L.
Yeah, that's
I don't know why no one's mentioning that. I mean, those 3Ls are annuities, right? There's always going to be companies with any combination of 3 letters.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's an acronym or not. I haven't looked it up, but
it's a solid group. But I mean, I, P, and F. I mean, you talk fund, foundation, all that kind of stuff. I, international. I mean, there's a whole lot of like,
So you've got a floor of like 35 grand for that name.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's going to go for more than that. And it's worth, 250 to 350 retail. And then the other one, I shouldn't even mention it, but there's ol.net. And look, I've seen like one retail sale of a 2l.net. They just don't sell. I just feel like someday they have to. Someday.
Well, we own a few together and they haven't sold.
Well, not only have they not sold, we've never even gotten an inquiry.
Right.
so my theory
That's
could be totally useless, but I just
like most of your theories.
Yeah, my theories are garbage.
Swat.
Well, I don't even know. This is like I don't even know what we're saying anymore. But I'm with it, man. IPF is obviously going to be a big name. It's going to sell for 20 some thousand plus on NameJet. So that one's a big one to pay for and put in your portfolio. But exactly to your point, that's a $300,000 retail domain name. What's that?
Here comes Daniel Kulishuk in the
Oh,
How we
what's
doing?
Up,
What's happening,
oh,
bro?
look at this. We have Jen, Ammar, JT. What a crowd.
Yeah,
What's
we
up,
are
dude? How are you?
recording Sherpa right now.
How are you guys doing? Oh, wow. This is live. No kidding.
You're live. You're on the show now.
Swat, wouldn't you say?
You're on the
Live on
show.
tape.
Live. Look at that. Well,
I,
great to see everybody. And I hope everybody enjoys the show. You guys have a great lineup today.
Oh, well, thanks, man.
Got a funny one. Got a funny one.
Well,
Yeah, we
made
got
even better by you joining, and I was actually really quick trying to see if I can find your AKAs. You know what I'm saying?
You got some AKAs?
I mean, I have we did them when we were on the same the panel at NamesCon, but I don't know where I got that in the document. You know what I'm saying?
You're good, too.
Dude, freestyle it right now. Come on now.
Oh man, that's it's tough. It's tough. As I get older, it's harder. I can't remember as much stuff. What word do
Especially
you
with the last name that doesn't rhyme with anything.
No, but there was like Ice Kolashuk, you know what I'm saying? I think we had a couple. We had some good ones, man. I just
He did well with what he had to work with. I remember
Thank you. So, all right, you good though, man? How you living?
Great. Just trying to sell some names.
Did you have anything to do with first.com? Were you involved on that one?
That was certainly one of my largest projects. I'm gonna not be the one to say anything.
Okay. Okay.
You guys will absolutely hear whatever there is.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, man. I know you did do some work on that. So I saw that in in the notes, and it's a good job. Good work.
Hey, wait, when gold sold, that's public, right?
Gold, yeah, that number is public. Yes.
So he brought in a buyer for gold.
Oh, okay. Was that the one maybe we were talking about last year when we were in LA?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That was at
That is
the time that was brewing.
That was a big sale.
Yeah.
Found that buyer.
Look at
Yeah,
you,
that one
dog.
was slowly but surely that one came too.
Ah, man, I dig it. That's what's up. So, see, look at this, man. We just bringing people on. We're like, oh, hey, you want to, you need another random rock star just walking past in the background in Braden's
Listen,
house.
I'm doing my part. I'm raising the next
The next wave, the next generation.
wave
I
of
feel it, man. I feel it. Love it.
Yes.
All good stuff, man. Well, that's what's
So
up.
maybe Daniel's going to be honorary soiree.
He wasn't on the show to know what that
yeah.
means.
Spales. We're talking about different ways to pronounce. Soirée, which is the French version.
I just instantly learned what a soiree is.
There you go.
InstantLearning.com is on the list.
Oh, okay.
So,
Which we didn't even talk about Instant Learning. What do you think of InstantLearning.com?
Yeah. What do you take a quick look at the list? I mean, tell us, what do you like? What don't you like? You know what I'm saying?
it's descriptive. People like to be taught things faster than slower. And I think people appreciate when something is explained well in a way that is easy to understand, which I believe does make it a very appealing name. It's, people want to figure things out quickly.
It's got a decent CPC. It's got almost no searches, though. You think it has any value?
Instant learning, I do think it does have some value. It is not a worthless name. Have you guys done the domain game yet?
Yeah, we did. Ammar won the domain game. So
Just.
Not really just.
it was close. It was him and Jen. It was neck and neck, and then Ammar took it in the final round.
You did?
Yeah, but I dig instant learning. I think obviously in today's day and age, and there's to me, and kind of very much exactly what Daniel said, and it what it is, like the name, whatever it's going to be used for, it will tie in most likely to that purpose, which will also instantly let you know what the name is used for. So
I think it's also appealing I think it's appealing for utilities as in, the newest technologies that are coming around where everything about the topic is foreign to the majority of people, especially at first glance, such as artificial intelligence or how crypto works. All of these things in the beginning are foreign, and, people, need to learn what is a crypto wallet. What is a gas fee? How do I handle these transactions? Why, which crypto do I want to convert to transact? What are the pros and cons to all of that? These are all things that people want to figure out. And if they're figuring out how to transact crypto, it's maybe because they have some, transactions coming up that they need to process and they want to quickly learn how to do it and how to go about it. So that could be a thing that people want to quickly figure out. So it could be, crypto for beginners, AI for beginners. People recognize that it could be, AI could be a tool for their business or whatever their utility is, but they know nothing about it. They know nothing about agents. So, hey, I want to quickly learn what AI is and how to use it and how can I integrate it into whatever I'm doing. That's the thing people would want to learn quickly. So,
and they just had some instant ramen, so they might as well have some instant learning.
Wow, that was
there. You go. And last one that I want to mention, we got to get going because we're running tight on time.
Just for that,
when you talk about current events, well, and Daniel, we got Robot Mania on the list. Like, did y'all see the Tesla stuff with the robots and everything? I mean,
robot taxi, yeah.
Sounds like a publishing.
I don't know, but is mania even like a word that I don't even see that much.
Yeah.
Maybe like a conference or something. I don't know what you. I guess that's
I like career advice a lot better. Career advice doesn't work because people are always searching for career advice.
Yeah, I dig it. All right. Well, I think we've covered them all. Daniel, thank you for joining as well. And in fact, I'm going to kind of roll through.
Me, even though I didn't have to join or anything, got an invite ahead of time. Love you guys. Great to see everybody, and I hope everybody enjoys the show.
Yeah, bro. Thank you. And well, with that, let's run it. We're going to kind of go around the horn anyway, and then we're going to call it because we're over time. But anybody have anything else that we haven't covered? Let's go start with you, Braden. You got anything else on your agenda? I know you got these big sales that you're closing, so congratulations again. That's super cool.
Thank you. It was definitely Q3 was amazing. It's been a very good year. I hope to close some more deals before the year is up.
All right.
I got DK, as you just saw. He's staying at my house for a minute, like 10 days. I think he's here.
Oh man. All right. Well,
So
how far are you guys into the bosom buddies deal then of that 10 days, you know?
how far are we into it?
Like, is it, are you ready to, are you ready to show these throats, or you guys still got a little runway left?
Listen, the kid's been around since he was 10 years old. It's fine.
I know. That's family, but so even family sometimes though, you know, you're like, hey, so
it's all good. It's funny because, you know, he moved to Boston to be with Andrew and the crew at Hilco. And, so he sends me a text. He's like, oh, I forgot to tell you that I'm coming to town. I assume it's cool that I stay there, right? I was like, when are you coming? He said, I'll be there in the morning.
like, I'm actually down the street waiting for you to open the gate.
I'm in the Uber.
I was like, thanks for the heads up. I actually had some friends staying over too. I'm like, well, you can stay in the office, I guess.
It's all good, man. Doing the Shane Culture Cato Kalin thing at your house, man. It's all good. All right. Well, that's what's up, man. Well, cool. Good stuff. Well, again, congratulations on the sales. All right, Ammar, what about you? You got I know liner we talked about. Anything else on your agenda or dance card that you want to tell the world about?
No, man. Life is good. Having a good year, like Braden is. I think like we all are, hopefully, and you know, just I would say be good to each other, and we'll just have fun, enjoy, and appreciate.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I just got thankful.co in auction. So I was pretty happy about that name, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate you.
Pretty thankful. Yeah, no, that's good. I love
what else you just make any other big purchases lately?
Yes. Well, I am gonna buy Soleil.
Soleil.
Any non-domain purchases?
No, nothing worth talking about.
Oh man. All good. All right, Jen, what's up with you? What else? Andy's laid up. You're playing Nurse Ratchet, and what else? Or Mother Teresa, I don't know.
Not much. Just domains. 10 with Jen. I gotta put up a episode after we jump off here with Josh Reason, which was a fun one.
All right, cool.
And I just interviewed Ron Jackson yesterday, so that was really cool too.
Nice.
And everybody can find those at 10withjen.com.
Yeah.
Or on the YouTube, right?
Well, that redirects to the YouTube because I'm lazy and I haven't put a website up.
Okay, there you go. All right, so 10withjen.com. Check it out. My favorite one is the first one, but
you know. Well, apparently, yeah. Well, dude, I don't know how you're going to feel about some of these upcoming episodes because quite a few of these Sherpas do get asked who they're going to eat on the island, and you're pretty popular. You know? You're pretty popular, bro.
Why? I'm too nice, I think. You know, either that or they just feel like I got enough weight on me that it's like, you know.
Yeah, they're all going for size. They're all like, they all have reasoning. They've all thought about this. They've got strategies now. And I'm like, well, don't worry. Look, JT, I'm not going to eat you first because I'm going to make you hang around because I reckon you're like pretty strong and I'm just going to make you do stuff for me. And then at the end, if I need to eat you, then
I'm not just a pig. I'm not a pig on a spit. You know what I'm saying? Like I can.
Which is, I never got to ask Braden. I never got to ask Braden this question because I was trying to go outside the box and I asked Braden a different question for crazy number 9 and Braden went off the rails and that didn't make it to cut. So.
Oh, no. Well, wait, Braden, who would you pick?
Braden, who would you eat? Who would you eat? You're stranded on an island with the Sherpas. Who would you eat?
Drew's there?
Yeah.
I'm taking out Drew before he takes me out.
Yeah. That's basically what I said. Yeah. You know, it's like, you got to like, just, you know, it's Survivor at that point. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, there's only.
I think JT and Ammar are more kumbaya. Like, okay, we could work together, and Drew would be like, "I'm taking you fuckers out." So
Drew's like, I've been waiting for this. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to be the last one standing.
Yeah. No,
It's like, no, you don't actually have to kill or eat anybody. We're the rescue boat's on the way. He's like, nah, this is the whole fun of it. You know what I'm saying? No, it's okay. It's like, it's like we're gonna have to kill everybody.
The rest of us be strategizing how to get rescued.
No, we got satellite phones. They actually literally gonna be here in like 20 minutes. It's like, no, we got to kill everybody. That's
He's
it.
looking
Gotta
for a
do
big
it.
rock to club us over the head.
He's Lord of the Flies.
Exactly.
I think we'd be more like
Anyway.
Gilligan's Island.
Oh well, yeah, definitely Gilligan's Island. But
Yeah, for sure.
all right, well, not to turn this into a 3-hour tour. Let's I think we're good. So so everybody check out 10 with Jen, 10withjen.com. And everybody, thank you for tuning into today's show. First of all, I want to say thanks to my co-hosts for being here. As always, appreciate you guys, and always enjoy spending time with y'all. And to the audience, thanks you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys, not thanks you guys for tuning in. Suárez. As we say on every show, without you, there is no us. You're why we're here, and hopefully you got some value out of this amongst the other, all the craziness. But no, this is good. There's a lot of good stuff going on, and really though, but and some not so good. So to Ammar's point, I think with there's crazy things happening in the world. People dealing with a lot of different stuff. We got the election coming up, which is also bringing out the crazy all over the place. I just always, try to take care of each other, give some grace where you can, and try to keep things in perspective, and it's really all good. Be thankful.co. We're all in this together, So, all right. Well, with that, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in, and please tune in next time here on Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. Peace out, everybody.